Hello, my name is Christian Juliet. Today we are here to discuss some results from Tyler's most recent reevaluation this year. He is a senior this year, and that's kind of why we're here, is to just get some updated scores in some different areas of functioning. So that's what we're going to do. If at any time you guys need me to slow down, I know we have mom and dad here as well as some of Tyler's teachers. If you need me to slow down or clarify something, if you're confused, please let me know, and I'm more than welcome to slow down. So I know right now Tyler's 18, he's a senior this year, so we're just going over some most recent results right now. He currently qualifies as a person with another health impaired due to a chromosome disorder that was diagnosed at birth. So at the end of this, we'll go over kind of a diagnosis on where he would fall and kind of determine whether he continues to qualify for special education services in Pleasant Hill. So a couple different areas. I know in vision, we decided not to do some testing in that area. He wears glasses in the classroom and he's able to see. So there was no further assessment needed at that time in that area. In the area of hearing, Tyler does wear hearing aids in both ears, but in classes, I know you've mentioned that he's able to hear just fine. He can move up if he needs to and ask if he can't hear something or needs it reread. So in that area, we didn't need to do any testing as well. Health and motor functioning, I know we have some histories of some back surgeries. Parents have mentioned in the past he's had some physical therapy for those, but really right now it's not an area of concern, so we didn't do any testing in that area as well. In the area of speech functioning, there really wasn't a need for testing in that area as well. He does sometimes speak with a softer voice at school, I know you've mentioned, but he's able to speak up and express what he needs just fine. And that goes with language as well. In the past, he's had some language testing done and some services when he was younger. But really right now, he's able to express himself. There's no concerns. I know parents said the same thing. So right now, we didn't do any testing there. In the area of intellectual and cognitive functioning, for right now, we decided to go ahead and test in this area to get an updated IQ score for Tyler. In the past, he took the Wechsler scale for children assessment. This time we went ahead and did the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. So this is a test that consists of 15 different tests. He completed it was all on an iPad, and they're administered in order to get an IQ score, an overall score of where Tyler's functioning right now. And looks at different specific areas such as verbal comprehension, perceptual, memory, things like that. And this test specifically is for adults, so it looks at ages 16 all the way through up in age. So this is the test we went ahead and decided to do for Tyler this time. Some of the subtest scores he completed, he had to manipulate a lot of blocks. A lot of it was on the iPad, but he had to think critically in a lot of different scenarios, look at puzzles, how he would maneuver them, looking at information, how he would identify a symbol with a word and make it match. Overall, his scores were on the lower end of functioning. Verbal comprehension, he had a standard score of 70, which is on a scale of 100, so that was kind of in the borderline range. Perceptual reasoning was kind of in the lower average as well. I know that includes like spatial processing. I know sometimes in the subtest that went with this, he had some significant strengths, but he also had some weaknesses when looking at different things, identifying a rule for a group of pictures and things like that. Processing speed, he had a score of 62, which was extremely low for Tyler. We know, and mom and dad have said this, same with teachers, that he does struggle to process things very slowly. So that was kind of an identified thing we all kind of knew beforehand. This is just looking at short-term memory, attention, visual motor skills, and things like that. He had to do a lot of cognitive decision-making and how this would match with this, but this was a significant weakness for Tyler. His overall full-scale IQ was a 68. I know the last time we tested, if you flip back, it was at 58, so there's a little bit of change there. It did go a little bit higher, which is good. But we can be pretty confident as a school district that IQ is pretty accurate to where Tyler is currently functioning cognitively. And general ability, 74, same thing. It's kind of on the borderline range of functioning. So that's pretty much where Tyler seems to lie, which is great. So yeah, in the area of adaptive behavior functioning, Tyler's able to function in the school setting just fine, adapt, take care of his needs and things like that. I know at home, parents have noticed that he's starting to do things more for himself, cooking basic meals, follow directions, and same as the teacher mentioned in the classroom as well. So we didn't see really a need to do any further assessment in this area. In the area of social emotional behavior functioning, I know the teachers mentioned Tyler's able to get along well at school with friends. Socially, at times we need a little push for that. Parents have kind of recognized that. But overall, there really wasn't a need to test at that time in that area. And the next area was academic functioning. We did go ahead and test in this area just to get some updated scores on his current academic functioning. In the past, we did a Wechsler Individual Achievement Test, which looked at all those basic academic skills. We went ahead and decided to go with a different test this time. It's more accurate to where the student's functioning. So we went ahead and used the Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement. This is a test that measures academic achievement from low grades all the way up to high school. So, and this is also on an iPad, which I think was good for him because he worked well with that. Process slow. He came to the session very willingly, was very polite to the tester. The composite score, so if you look in this chart, there's three composite scores and an overall score. So in the area of reading, on a scale of 100, Tyler scored a 46, which was considered in the very low range. Reading was kind of a weakness for him in that he struggles with some of those basic skills needed in order to read accurately. In the area of math, as you see, there's a score of a 66 on a scale of 100, which is low, but he scored well in this area. So in the area of math, he had to do a lot of reasoning and concepts and basic operations and math addition, subtraction, and he seemed to do much better than he had in the past. So that's good. That's a strength for him in this area. A relative weakness for him was also in the written language. This was considered very low with a score of 43 compared to 100. He struggled to look at the higher order skills needed in order to write. So he had to do some spelling and some phonetics things, look at patterns, and he had to write complete sentences in a paragraph, and he really did struggle in this area. And I know Mom and Dad have kind of said that they've noticed with writing he's often struggled as well as the classroom teacher. So this was a relative weakness for him. In assistive technology, there really wasn't a need to test. He's able to access the classroom fine without this. In the area of transition, we did go ahead and do just an informal assessment for him this year just because he's a senior and looking into, before we get working with VR, just to get him working with some ideas on what he might want to do. So we went ahead and just used Missouri Connections, just kind of an informal transition survey to look at some of the areas of possible career opportunities for him in the future. So he had to rank, it was a clear cluster that he ranked different jobs in order from like a 1 to 5. So from a highest to lowest, his highest was in the area of finance, so he was interested in jobs that looked at finance and things like that. His lowest was information technology, and he had told me that he was not excited about those jobs. So also the interest profile, he scored really high, realistic, looking at workout tech, practical hands-on things, and we know even in the classroom he has a real strength with that. And then his lowest was conventional, so working with people and set procedures and routines. This is not him. He did not want to be a part of that. So we went ahead and did that, kind of give him some ideas of where he might want to be later on. So a summary, strengths of him, he wants to please, he follows directions well. Math was a relative strength for him. Weaknesses, reading fluency, written expression, following directions consistently, things like that. Recommendations, obviously we wanted to see him graduate this year. I know as a team we all kind of agreed that Tyler continues to qualify under the category of other health impaired due to that chromosome disorder. So this year he'll continue to get those services, and then when he would graduate, he would move on to a job. So I really appreciate you guys coming today. going over these results. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. Thank you.